I think I would like to introduce Dixon Matata and Michael. I think Dixon Matata should enter into the quorum, and Michael Lugina are added into the list of the defense counsels. These learned counsels should be added into the list of the advocates representing the accused. But also, we are supposed to prove what was not accepted at the preliminary presentation. So we are starting with the first witness for today. Honorable Magistrate, before we start with the hearing, Advocate Alote has an issue that I would like to bring to your attention. Thank you so much, Honorable Magistrate. I just have a short issue, a small issue to present. 40 minutes ago, you gave an order that the accused should be given an opportunity together with his advocates to have a discussion concerning the ruling whose copy has been served to us together with the witness statement, so that we are able to read and have a talk or consultation with our client. And he was complaining together with us that our right to privacy has been denied. And my understanding or interpretation is that meeting with our client is that all the people are supposed to leave, and all the people left except prison officers. They remained here, and they were seated close to us, and they didn't leave. And to us, we find this is a contempt of court, because the court order must be respected, and they haven't respected it. But I remember I've said your consultation should not affect security. Yes, they are present, and this is the second time. On the 2nd of June, we were given the same opportunity, but they surrounded us again. This cannot go on, and we cannot be complaining every day about an order that has been given. I have already said, because that we should do consultation, but the consultation should not affect security concern, which is beyond my concern. In fact, I didn't say that they should remain inside when the consultation is going on or not. I said consultation should go on, but without interfering security. Now, are you saying that there's no interference? Let me reiterate the order I gave, that you should consult each other, but without affecting security concern. The security of the accused I support. I'm simply raising a concern, because you cannot be giving an order that we should do consultation in private, but then the security forces are here listening to us. That's not a consultation. When you're saying it should not affect security, is it the security of who? How does it affect the security of the accused if they stay far, let's say close to the door, so that we're able to do our consultation? There should be an order or directives. They should stay far away, even to the door, because I know others are on top of this building, but here we don't want them, because they're surrounding us everywhere. They're listening to everything that we're talking. Now, how can that be consultation? I'm going to give an order about it at the end as I dismiss, as I adjourn the case. Are you ready to proceed with the case? And then we're ready as the defense side, if the witness is present. Mr. LISSU, are you ready? If you would like, you can get seated. I just want to see the witness first. I want to see the witness. Tundulissu is asked to sit down, but he says he would like first to see the witness before he sits down.
Now we are ready to listen to the testimonies from the part of the public prosecution. So I need to hear very well so that we can follow up very closely. Your names, please, the witness. Your names, please. Names of the witness, please. You have been asked to mention your full names. My name is P.F. Wilindeli, 22863. P.F. 822863. Mr. John. Your age, please. I'm 45 years old. Where do you live? I live at Temeke Chamaz in Dar es Salaam. Chamaz, Temeke, Dar es Salaam. Your job, please? I'm a police officer. Your religion? I'm a Christian. Okay, can you guide him in taking an oath? PF 223863, Inspector John. I take an oath before your honorable court that the testimony that I'm going to give before this honorable court is true, and may God guide me. Honorable Gatuga, please. Honorable, this witness is going to be guided by Nasser Gatuga, who is the state attorney here present. Honorable, may you please allow me to see him very well, properly. So you're going to speak loudly so that we can follow you well. Mr. Witness, my name is Nasoro. As I've already told the Honorable Court, I am state attorney. I'm going to ask you questions, so you're going to answer as you have already taken an oath on the basis of what you know. Is it okay, Mr. Witness? When you introduced yourself, you told the Honorable Magistrate, you told him that you are a police officer, right? Can you tell the Honorable Court, you have been a police officer for how long? Since when? I've been a police officer since 2005. From which year? 2005. Can you look at me, please? Look at me directly. When you speak, you have to look at me directly. 2005. Okay? You started with which rank, police rank? In 2005? I started with the rank of recruiter policy officer. If I've heard you very well, you have told this honorable court that you are a police inspector when you introduced yourself. So you are a police inspector. Can you tell it now? You have been an inspector since when? I've been a police inspector since 6 June 2025. Since 6th June 2025. Kindly tell the court, honorable court, before you became a police inspector on 6th June 2025, what was your rank before that time? Before becoming a police inspector, I was an assistant inspector of police. Now, Mr. Witness, can you help us, please? Okay. Before, or rather, before, where did you get this profession of police service? I attended LISSU training at the Police College in Zanzibar in 2005, and I was awarded a certificate of competency. Let us go slowly. You are saying that you underwent training in which college? At the Zanzibar Police College. From when up to when? 2005 up to the beginning of 2006. After training, you have said that you awarded a certificate of competency in a private police rank. So, Mr. Witness, can you please tell us that your police officer job, where have you been working for now? I work at the Director of Criminal Investigation Office. What the acronym of the Criminal Investigation Directorate? DCI, Directorate of Criminal Investigation. Please, may you tell us, in that Directorate of Criminal Investigation that you have said, you work in which department, which unit? I work in the Department of Cyber Crime Investigation. May you please tell us, in that department of cybercrime investigation unit, where is your office located? My office is located at the headquarters in Dar es Salaam, Directorate of Police here in Dar es Salaam. Mr. Witness, may you please tell us, may you tell this honorable court, what are your duties or in your department of cybercrime investigation? As you have already said, what is your position in that department? In that department of cybercrime investigation, I work in the desk of cybercrime surveillance. You work as so you're an investigator in the desk of cybercrime surveillance. May you please tell this honorable court, can you tell the honorable resident magistrate, what are your duties and responsibilities as an investigation officer? What are your duties? Ms. Honorable resident magistrate, my duties in that desk is to surveil on various social media networks like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, YouTube once again, and the other media platforms, Honorable Magistrate. Mr. Witness, may you please tell us, after having mentioned your responsibilities that you have mentioned as being social media platforms, may you please tell this Honorable Court, when you talk about YouTube, what is YouTube? So that the Honorable Court can understand you. Honorable Magistrate, YouTube is a social media network that unites people together. This network, so for you to be able to use it, to access it, the user has to register on the basis of the conditions that have been put in place. After registering oneself, may you please go slowly as you are looking at the Honorable Magistrate, because he is also writing, noting down what you are saying. After registering the user of YouTube, of course you can publish on your page the content, different various contents, like for example, you may publish video clips. What do you mean when you talk about video clips, for example? You have said you can publish video clips, for example. Can you please clarify when you talk about the video clips so that we can easily understand your point here? What can you publish? May you please repeat that? You can publish video clips, for example, that we call it known as video in English. You can also, you may also share your views on the other video clips that have been published by other people. You can also like, you can also love the content that has been published on YouTube of another user, for example. Then, can you please, you have mentioned something known as Instagram. We have been surveilling on media platforms like Instagram. What is Instagram? It is a social network where, of course, the user has to register his name, using his name or her name, so that you can appear on the other people's pages. You can use the name that you are going to propose, for example. And after registering yourself, you can also use your page and to publish content like video clips, for example, short ones. You can also publish other contents that you would like other users, of course, to read, to access them on the media platforms. Also, with Instagram, you can follow up, make follow up on the other users, for example, who are using that social media platform. In addition, on Instagram, you can share reviews, for example, on the content that has been published by other users. And in addition to that, you can also on the Instagram social media, you can send a short message, text message, of course, to another user that can be between one person and another, but in the messages they cannot can be open to other Instagram users. Maybe let us move to another person, because if I can ask all our social networks, we can take the whole day here. But briefly, we have understood you well. But now, kindly please tell us, Mr. Witness, when you talk about media surveillance, for example, what do you do exactly? I'm asking you personally. which device do you use to conduct surveillance on media platforms, for example? Honorable Magistrate, when we use special computers that have been given to us by the office so that we can conduct investigation on various cybercrime that have been committed, of course, on media platforms. Sorry, Honorable Magistrate. Can you please repeat, by looking at the Honorable Magistrate, you use which devices to do what you are saying, the media platforms surveillance? Honorable Magistrate, the devices that we use, that are used to conduct media platforms surveillance is a special computer that has been given to us by the office for this special task. That computer belongs to whom? It belongs to the police force services, of course. When you say, for example, you conduct surveillance on media platforms, what do you mean? Or what do you look for example? Can you tell this Honorable Court when you talk about media platforms surveillance? Honorable Magistrate, when I conduct surveillance, I visit various social media networks, platforms, so as to identify various criminal acts that are committed by users of those social networks, social media networks. Now you please tell this Honorable Court, you have said that you use a special computer to conduct media platforms surveillance. What do you have? What do you have in that special computer, for example? Honorable Magistrate, in those computers there are some antivirus for the protection of the computer, and in addition to that, these computers have special password whereby the user cannot use it, cannot access it if you don't have the password of that respective computer. Honorable Magistrate, I have also a police notebook when I'm conducting surveillance. What is it exactly? Notebook, of course, here is for taking note of references as I conduct, for example, the surveillance activities. Mr. Witness, may you please tell this Honorable Court that you have said that when you are conducting your surveillance, you use those devices, and may you please tell this Honorable Court with regard to your profession that enables you to conduct, to perform what you are doing, of course. If you have here, if you have it, where do you find it, for example? Honorable Magistrate, the profession of conducting media platform surveillance, I got it, of course, from the police college of Kurasini here in Dar es Salaam in 2020. And in 2020, after attending training of forensic cybercrime in modern investigation, a course. What is the name of that course? Forensic cybercrime in modern investigations. In addition, Honorable Magistrate, please, before you proceed, you were awarded, what certificate were you awarded? I was awarded a certificate, Honorable Magistrate. Okay, may you please tell this honorable court, because you wanted to say something. What other training or course did you undergo in 2022 at the Unique Academy College, Unique Academy that is here in Upanga? I attended which Upanga, in Tanga or Dar es Salaam? Here in Dar es Salaam. I attended a training course of computer hacking in forensic investigations. That training took how long? If you remember well, one of the magistrates, I remember it took 2 months for that training. And what were you awarded after the training? After graduating, I got a certificate in that particular course. Okay. Another thing that we would like to say, to tell this honorable court, maybe please may you tell this honorable court with regard to your social media platform surveillance. You have been working there for how long, for example? Honorable Magistrate, it is to work on surveillance. I've been doing that one since 2020. So up to date, 2020, up to date, up to now. Up to now, you have an experience of how long in that particular work? Till now, I have an experience of more than 4 years. Experience, of course. Honorable witness, Mr. Witness. May you please tell this honorable court what is the efficiency of what you have called as a special computer of the police services? What is the efficiency? Section 80A, but when you talk about efficiency, it means that you are leading the witness. Honorable, I'm sorry, I would like to be guided. When you say section 147, which talks about examination, it is guided by the court. I'm trying to look at the leading questions, because when you ask, for example, what is the color of that car, for example, somebody would accuse you of leading questions. But which question am I going to tell him so that he can understand me very well? Honorable, sometimes you find that what am I going to ask then so that he can understand me, to understand my intention here, for example? Honorable Magistrate, please, Mr. Witness, can you tell us now that is it okay, Honorable Magistrate? Because I wanted him to tell something that my court also has understood, so that because I don't want to lead the witness, but I would like him to tell this honorable court, what thing are you going to tell this honorable court to make it understand that the computer that you are using is something that is trustworthy, for example, right? May you please tell this honorable court? I don't know whether that question is also a leading one, but Honorable Magistrate, the trustworthiness of this computer is found at the aspect of security, which means that it has got a password, and we keep updating them regularly. Now, please, may you go slowly so that the Honorable Court can understand you. Honorable, here is about the security of the computer, because these computers, you cannot access them if you don't have the password. So, as to, of course, to open it or to enter it. And in addition to that, when you protect the computer, we have an antivirus that has been put in place so as in those particular computers. Another thing, Honorable Magistrate, we keep updating them regularly when it is necessary, for example. Now, Mr. Witness, can you tell this Honorable Court that when what you call the desk on or surveillance or social media platforms, may you please tell this Honorable Court that how do you fulfill those responsibilities in your respective desk on social media platforms surveillance? May you please tell this Honorable Court how you conduct your activities? We execute our duties that after identifying a criminal report. So sometimes, of course, I inform my head of department. In addition to that, I can also look at the where this criminal act was committed, for example, in which jurisdiction. Then I inform him, the commander of that office, so that they can conduct an investigation. May you please tell this Honorable Court, you have talked about your working procedures. May you please, can you as officers, how do you perform your duties? How many of you are there in that particular unit, for example, that desk? Because apart from you receiving reports, I would like to know how you perform your duties. You can get seated, please, as we wait. Don't you have a chair there? So you can continue standing up, please. WEWE. Hata wanaita fani. Honorable Magistrate, may you please allow me to proceed? Last time when the defendant wanted to go outside, I asked you, apart from the outcomes of your investigation, I would like to know the procedures of your desk in handling, for example, various cases on these social media platform surveillance activities. Honorable Magistrate, our duties, of course, we execute them as follows. First of all, of course, we are 4 staff in that particular desk. So our duties, of course, we execute them by various shifts. So, for example, there are those who come at a particular organized time frame, for example. So we don't go there together. So you work in shifts, right? May you please tell this honorable court that rotation starts at what time, for example, if it is not going to impact your working procedures? May you please, Magistrate, may you please protect me, because we work 24 hours, over 24 hours. You work 24 hours by share rotation. So 24 hours, for example, patrolling is done by 24 hours, but we have various shifts within those 24 hours. So now I want to understand how many days, for example. 24 hours in a day. Mr. Witness, may you please tell this honorable court with regard to the documentation, so that you can organize very well your information. As I keep asking you, I would like you, of course, you to tell this honorable court that on the 4th of April 2025 in the morning, you do remember where were you at that particular point in time, for example? Honorable Magistrate, on the 4th April 2025, which year? 2025. I reported to my workplace L at 6 hours in the morning, of course. When I started executing my duties, please, may you please go slowly. You reported at your workplace at 6 hours. 6 hours, right? You are saying that you reported to your workplace. May you please tell this honorable court, where did you report to execute which duties? Please don't mince words, even if you said before. Where did you report, for example? Honorable Magistrate, on that particular date, on the 4th April 2025, I reported to my workplace, in my office. Where exactly? Where precisely? Which office, to be precise? In my workplace. I don't know whether you understand my point. Where is the location of your office? That's why, even if you said it before, don't believe that you have already said it. Please answer me accordingly. I hope you understand Kiswahili. You know, sometimes in legal we say that the court is not your mother. You have to tell everything. You have to divulge all the information. May you please be specific. On the 4th of April 2025, I entered my office of the headquarters of the police force here in Tanzania and here in Dar es Salaam to continue with my daily duties as planned. Which duties, Mr. Witness? My daily duty is to conduct surveillance on media platforms, social media platforms. Now, may you please tell you, on the 4th of April 2025, you entered in your office to perform which duties? May you please tell this honorable court? My duties that I was implementing is to surveil various social networks, Now, please, may you tell this honorable court, when you are executing your duties of social media surveillance on that particular day, which devices were you using? Honorable Magistrate, I was using a special computer of the police force. On that particular day, may you please tell us that in your computer, how did you enter your special computer, and what was the situation, state of physical state of that computer? I entered that computer of the police force, that is my daily working tool, by using a password. May please raise your voice, Mr. Witness. Raise your voice, Mr. Witness. By using the office's computer, I entered using the password that I use daily. And what next? And then during that particular point in time, the computer was in good condition. When you talk about trying to see whether somebody tried on that particular day.
So what happened thereafter? India's already discovered. Honorable Magistrate, I haven't understood this evidence. He is my brother, and I hope he's not taking offense, but I mean legally. Is the witness prevented from answering a question simply because of security? Because if it's a prayer of non-disclosure, it is something we can litigate. Otherwise, a witness is compelled to answer all questions, because our client is supposed to confront the witness on all points. The magistrate is responding, and I am unable to hear what he is saying. He is speaking very far from the microphone. Honorable Magistrate, I don't understand the response of the witness, whether it's pleasing or not. It is us who are seeing his response, that he is requesting your court on how they sign into YouTube that should not be disclosed according to their work protocol. To us, that is part of the security. Now the magistrate is intervening, but we are unable to hear that. If you don't ask that question, it would appear that we didn't ask the question. As far as the question has been asked, the witness cannot just decide to respond that it's a security concern. What type of a security concern are they talking about? We need that to be made clear. So the defense side is saying the witness, who is a police inspector, is supposed to answer all questions. He is compelled to do that. Honorable Magistrate, I think I've decided that he has to answer all the questions. Honorable, dear witness, inform them, how did you enter into YouTube? You're not supposed to mention your account, but tell us, how did you enter? We enter online through registered account. I thought you were writing something. Now, witness inform us. You're saying, what did you discover in the given account you're talking about? I recognized a page registered as Jambo TV. If you publish a video content, where the content is being live streamed on the 2nd of April 2025, in this video there were also words that I would like to quote, which were accompanying the video. Tundulissu face to face with constituent contenders or election contenders. No reform, no election, at a crossroad. And then after this video, in your work, what did you find? Honorable Magistrate, after this video, I started following it, trying to go through the content that was published on that page. After listening into that content, I discovered there were words which indicated criminality. Now, witness, you need to tell Honorable Magistrate, if you remember, the video in question, which you had listened and you discovered. What was its duration? Honorable Magistrate, I think it was almost 3 hours. It was almost 3 hours long. So you are saying you discovered or some criminal element within the video content referred. What exactly did you see in that video content which indicated criminality? The content itself, where Mr. Tundu Antipas Lissu was the speaker in that video. And exactly what was criminal about it. On the content, I discovered some of the statements or utterances which had criminal elements. So can you explain or elaborate further? What do you mean? Honorable Magistrate, when I mean elements, I mean that the statements, I doubted them, that they appear criminal. What do you mean by criminal elements? Or indicators of criminality? What exactly are they? I mean there were utterances that were criminal. Can you tell this court What exactly of those utterances you remember? Honorable Magistrate, the utterances that I remember for now is that because we don't have access to the commission servers, the police officers are the ones that come in with bags of fake votes. Other utterances that I won't speak, I'll just mention those that I remember. He also said judges are appointed by the president, or they are working under the mercy of the president. And because they're people of the president, so they are all members of CCM, Chama cha Mapinduzi. They want to do justice because they want promotions to go to the Court of Appeal. To get commissions. And also to be appointed into the National Election Commission. Where, with respect to the commission, Court of Appeal, that they should be appointed into commissions, where because the commission has money, it is believed. Therefore, you cannot. Therefore, going to court is not an option. Other content, Honorable Magistrate, that I remember is that the President is selecting the removal of candidates in elections is done under the directives of the President. Removing names of candidates during election processes is done under the order of the President. Other words that I remember from the person in question is that he would like to be appointed for a certain position in this country. The magistrate is saying something, but I'm unable to hear. I also would, this is what the content says. I wanted to be appointed for a certain position, and you also want to be appointed in your respective positions. So is this possible now? And if it's not possible, what shall we do? Our campaign is no reform, no election. Our campaign or our meeting is based on the agenda of no reform, no elections. They say this position indicates transgression or rebellion. And it is true because, and it's true, it indicates rebellion because we are going to stop election. We are going to make an incitement or to mobilize the people. Honorable Magistrate, why did I think that these words indicate criminality? This is because the work of the police force is to protect or maintain security on all polling stations or voting booths. The police force is not responsible to carry or to do anything that has to do with ballot boxes and papers. And therefore, if you so what are you telling this court now? Therefore, Honorable Magistrate, because I understand my duties on the work of the police force on supervising elections, I thought the information given by tundulissu was a lie. So if it's a lie, what did you do? I went far because if deception spreads and it can cause tension in the society, and it's incitement against the police force and citizens, Honorable Magistrate, on judges being members of the ruling party, because he said judges. Second thing, you say judges are not allowed to be members of any political party. Which political party? A political party. Okay. And you are also saying, what did you discover? I discovered that these utterances are deceiving or deceptive, and if they're deceptive, provoke or tension in the society. Honorable Magistrate, on the directives of the President to expunge the names of opposition candidates, I thought this was wrong because the appointing authority in their respective positions is the National Electoral Commission and not the President. So what did you discover? If you know this work is done by the National Electoral Commission, after making a follow-up of these utterances, I discovered them to be falsified, intending to cause tension in the society or unrest. Honorable Magistrate, in other utterances that we're going to stop the elections, we're going to cause rebellion. After hearing these words, I thought that this information is a call for public unrest, because there's a proper procedure, and which is constitutional. Which constitution? The Constitution of Tanzania. For obtaining contestants for different political positions. And you're saying about the utterances to stop national elections. What did you see about it? I thought that these statements would bring public unrest and endanger the peace of the country, because there is a procedure laid down in the Constitution for obtaining leaders and contestants for different positions. Now witness. Yes, you're saying you saw this video with this content. Tell this court about the content. According to the video you're talking about, who was uttering these words? These utterances were uttered by Mr. TUFUATILIE. Tell this court also, the person you're mentioning in Tundu is TUFUATILIE. What do you know tundulissu? Honorable Magistrate TUFUATILIE is a public figure, so he's famous. And because of his work as an advocate, everyone knows him. I mean, I'm talking about you. Don't speak about other people. That I know him because of his responsibilities. And when did you know him? It has been quite a long time that I've known him. So you're saying you watched and listened to this content. What did you do after that? After having watched this content and listened to it, I informed my head of department, and he informed me that I should meet the acting commander of the special zone, acting commander of the special zone, named SSP George. After that order, what did you do? After receiving this order, I went to I left my office and went to the special zone offices for Dar es Salaam. Where are these offices located? Which are in Ilala district. So what happened once you reached these offices? Once I reached at these offices, I met Officer SSSP George. I met his secretary and informed her that I would like to meet the officer in question, and I was permitted to go and meet him.
I met him, I explained to him about that video clip. I showed him the video, and then he directed me to go back to my office, and he told me that he would come back to me, he would revert to me in that regard. What next? After that, what did happen? Now, Mr. Witness, may you please tell this honorable court on the 7th April 2025. Okay. I hope you remember very well. Where were you on that particular day, for example? On the 7th April 2025, I was in my office. Where exactly? The headquarters of the police force here in Dar es Salaam. When executing my duties, I got a phone call from the police officer SSP George, who told me to meet him, to go and meet him, to visit him in his office, a special zone here in Dar es Salaam, so that I could meet him. So when you arrived, what did happen? When I arrived in his office, I met him, and he asked me about the information that I shared to him, if I remember very well. And I told him that I remember very well. May you please repeat? When I met him in his office, I met him, of course. And he asked me, do you remember the information that you brought to me on the 4th April 2025? And I told him yes. Then he told me, may you please go and download that video clip. And then he gave me specific instructions. After receiving those directives, what did you do, Mr. Witness? After receiving those instructions, I went back to my office of the police force at the headquarters in Dar es Salaam. When I arrived in my office, I opened the office's computer. Oh, may you please tell this honorable, how did you open that computer, how the things, or did it happen in the computer, for example? After arriving, I switched on my computer. When I switched it on, I opened it by using the password that I use daily. Okay. After logging in my computer, I made sure that the computer was very well secured, and it was okay. Okay, what next? After ensuring the security of the computer, I took a flash disk of the police force. Then the next day, and I put it in my computer, personal computer. And this flash disk is new, Honorable Magistrate. After I put it in my computer, I opened the flash disk. The first thing that I did, I had to delete everything that I could see in the flash disk so that everything could be new. Then ultimately I scanned that flash disk by using the antivirus. Then after completing the flashing, I opened the Jambo TV page by using that special computer that is very well equipped with a special program of downloading videos without impacting anything in that particular video. Then the video that I downloaded, Honorable Magistrate, is the one that I saw before, with of course attached with words like tundulissu face to face with the contenders in the electoral constituencies. No reform election is astray, is on the crossroads. Then so when you were downloading it, may you please tell this honorable court, what did you do if you did something with regard to the security? Where did you take it when you were downloading it so as to ensure its security? Honorable Magistrate, I downloaded the video from the YouTube page and served it in the flash disk that I've already mentioned here, which has names Kioxia. May you please spell it? May you please spell it? May you please spell it? KIOXIA. XXIA, Kioxia. Honorable, this flash disk has 80 gigabytes and it is white. When I talk about a GB, it means that it is about the capacity of that flash disk to reserve the volume of contents, for example. Now my question is about, you downloaded it as I've already said. May you please tell us about the security? May you please tell this honorable court about the security of that video clip? What you are talking about, we have mentioned as being a video clip. After having served it to ensure its security, I made sure that the flash disk had a particular password to access that flash disk, so that anybody cannot access it, cannot take it, and do anything by using that particular flash disk. Okay, after that, may you please proceed. Now, Mr. Witness, you were given such instructions and you did them accordingly, and you did everything that regard to that particular flash. Then what next? What did you do next? Mr. Honorable Magistrate, after downloading this video and serving it in the flash disk and securing that particular flash disk, I left my office and then went to the police special zone here in Dar es Salaam, and the office of the deputy commander of the police in the special zone here in Dar es Salaam, and police officer SSP George. Please, Mr. Witness, may you, before going to see Afande George, if you remember very well, with regard to that flash test, what did you do with that particular flash test? Honorable Magistrate, after downloading that clip and serving it, which is, of course, I attached it to the PF 145. May you please tell us about this PF 145? What do you mean? What do you mean by the expression PF 145 is an exhibit label? Exhibit label, okay, where the investigator has to fill the information with regard to what, with regard to that particular evidence. That is general. May you please tell us, what did you do with that attachment, your PF 145? What did you do with it exactly? Because we have talked it generally, because what other investigators do. May you please tell us specifically, what did you do with that particular PF 145, as we've already said here? Honorable Magistrate, in the PF 145, I wrote my names, the type of attachment, evidence attachment, where I got it, including the labeling, where I wrote it DM identification label. DM identification label. Okay. May you please tell this honorable court, you said that you attached it as an annex if you attached something. How did you attach it? How did you attach that PF 145 and the evidence or testimony? Honorable Magistrate, I attached it by using a rope that can be attached on the flash disk with the PF 145 attachment. The George, then what did happen when you arrived there at Afande George's office? To the police officer assistant George of the special police zone here in Dar es Salaam, I informed him about the work that he tasked me, that I had already completed it accordingly. Then after that, after informing him about my implementation of his directives, he gave me the reference of the case, so as to, of course, to put it on the exhibit label that I had prepared. After that, what did you do? Would you remember how was it? If you remember very well about the number of the case that you had established, that you were asked, what label are you talking about here? PF 145. PF 145. May you remember please the number, if you remember it properly? May you please tell the Honorable Court. Honorable Magistrate, in my memory here, I remember it was DSNZ, DSMZ, right? Stroke, CID, stroke, PE, dot, 101 stroke 2025. Okay. Mr. Witness, may I please take you back? You have to help us because you are the one who are saying that you worked on it, right? May I take you back? How long did you take to download? How do you say it in English? Say downloading. To download. We tell it as downloading in English. How long did you take to download it? If you remember well. Honorable Magistrate, I remember it took around 15 minutes. Around 15 minutes. $15 minutes. 15 minutes. You said it took how long? How many hours? What is the volume of that video clip? That video clip had a length of 3 hours. 3 hours length. If you remember very well, if you remember. Do you remember its length? Do you remember the length of that video clip? How long does it take, for example? Honorable Magistrate, I remember the length of that particular video clip was about 500 MB, megabytes, 500 megabytes, 500 megabytes. Or length, it was 500 megabytes, plus 500, around 500 megabytes. And that video clip, of course, I downloaded it from a system, MP4 system. I downloaded it in MP4 system. How do you call it in English? How do you call that system in English? So that we don't mistranslate it. You downloaded it in MP4 system. It is in MP4 format. MP4 format. In English, how do you call it in English? That particular format system? Or in when you talk about MP4 system, how do you call it? The professional. Anyway, we have understood you. We have understood you. Now, it is in that length and in that MP4 format, and that you used 15 minutes to download it. Now, let us go back to your police station. May you please allow me? Now, let us go back to your police station. When he gave you the case number that you mentioned, so that you could feel it in the 245, what did happen next? After giving me the reference of the case and filling it in the annex DN, he directed me to submit it to the record management officer, to submit it to record management office, to submit that annex. And then after that, how did you submit it to her or him? That you were directed to submit it to the record management officer. Do you remember whom did you hand it over? When you raised the witness said that he was directed to hand over to the record management officer, because he did not say that he wanted. Maybe he did not obey to those instructions. He did not say that he submitted to somebody. What is your concern, Mr. Kibata, Honorable Kibatala? That is a leading question, because Honorable Magistrate, let me please continue. Okay, now, Mr. Witness, may you please allow me to proceed? You were given instructions. I was trying to reduce some of the details so that we can understand each other. Since you have reiterated on that, let me repeat. When you are directed to regarding his identification of this person, if he is there, what would you like to ask this honorable court? May you please repeat your question? You have told us that this person, you knew him before and you saw him in the video clip, right? So we would like to know whether you knew him before. What would you like to ask this honorable court to prove that you know this person? And so now, what would you like to request this honorable court? Honorable Magistrate, the speaker on that video clip, because I knew him, even here in the honorable court, I have seen him. So I would like to introduce him to you, the honorable court. The person is here. State Attorney, haven't you helped him to identify the speaker in that video clip? Now, Mr. Witness, let us proceed. What you call as a flash disk that you have labeled, as you have said, may you please tell this honorable court, when you have a chance, for example, to please help us in that regard. When did you again see this flash disk, so that just to try to understand, when you handed over that flash disk to the record management officer, may you please talk about this flash disk regarding about seeing it to you personally after having submitted it to the record management officer. Honorable Magistrate, after having handed over this flash disk to the record management officer and asking him to sign the PF 145 on the 8th April 2025, if I'm not mistaken, I was informed by the Deputy Commander of Police Special Zone here in Dar es Salaam, SSP George, that I had to go to his office. Having arrived in the office, I found him with another police officer. So he told me that that is an investigator of the video that I submitted to the record management officer. So he needs the password for him or her to continue with the investigation. So now, what did you do after having been requested the flash disk? What did you do? After that directive, I wrote the password on a piece of paper, the password that I had written on the flash disk. After that particular day, what next? with regard to that particular flash disk, if you at all saw it. Maybe if I see it, I can identify it. Can you recognize it? My question is, apart from sharing the password, have you ever seen it after that particular day when you submitted it? Honorable Magistrate, I have not seen it anymore. May you please tell this Honorable Court, if you have an opportunity, to be shown what you call a flash disk that you labeled it. May you please tell this Honorable Court, if you can recognize it. If you can recognize it, what will prove that it is what you saw it by your own eyes? Honorable Magistrate, the features that may prove to me that it is the one that I worked on before, first of all, is my handwriting. My names and my own signature. Another thing is the label that I put on it. What is that label? Label DM that I had already put on it. When we talk about the DM, which letters are you referring to here? Capital letters, DM. Then what next? You said how is that particular flash disk? Another thing, one of them is about the volume of that flash disk, which was 8 gigabytes. The color, white color of that particular flash disk. But also the name that was written on that particular flash disk, or the name 𝙏𝙼𝙖𝙑. So that is the flash disk that you are referring to. What are you going to identify is having put as part of the flash disk.
In that flash disk, there is a video which has these words: tundulissu face to face with contenders, no reform, no election at crossroads. Without entering into the content, what will you see to identify that the video is real? What exactly will you see? Because it's a document, we don't want to enter into the content of it. But what is it that if you see it from that video will help you to identify that this is the actual video? If I see the content maker of the video, who is LISSU, in that video, behind it there is a map or a flag of the Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, or Chadema party, where Tundulissu is coming from, or a member to the party. Let me take you some steps back. You told us that you do online surveillance. We want now to understand better this video. Tell this court about the video in connection to your work. What do you remember exactly? Or you haven't understood my question? You informed us that the video in question, you got it from YouTube. Now we want you to tell us in relation to this video. In doing online surveillance, as I'm trying to avoid leading questions. Let me put it differently. You told us you're doing online surveillance in different accounts and platforms. We want you to inform us, apart from YouTube. Probably this might be a leading question. Honorable Magistrate, I'm trying to frame the question. Honorable Magistrate, I think I've understood what the Principal State Attorney is asking me. That apart from this video, what I remember after downloading this video, I discovered this video in several other platforms. What type of medias, if you remember? There was Clouds Media also aired the same information. Which site? So they also published it on their Instagram page. There's also Arusharan Digital. They also published the same content. Through which platform? Through their YouTube page. Another platform was the Chanzo on the YouTube page as well. And also Manzo TV YouTube channel also published the same information. Together with Instagram page of Jambo TV. They also published the same content. Can you remind the court why did you take the flash disk in question? Honorable Magistrate, this flash disk or this exhibit, which I've termed it DM, I took it for the purpose of taking it for forensic investigation to the laboratory. Honorable Magistrate, after our witness has informed that he is competent to recognize the exhibit in question in the sense of the flash disk and its content, that he worked on, which he said he downloaded, and after the witness said that he downloaded it for the purpose of taking it to a forensic scientist for analysis and investigation, we would like the witness for his testimony to be postponed until the forensic scientists shall come to bring the exhibit in question, and that this witness shall be recalled to come and inform us that what does he mean when he said so and so, if that exhibit is going to be received in this court with the forensic expert that will be brought here as evidence, as a witness. Section 147 supports subsection 5. Section 147 subsection 5 supports this request of the evidence of the Law of Evidence Act. This is chapter 6 of the laws of Tanzania, as revised in 2022. I know that the 2023 revised edition starts to work on July 2025, so we're still using the revised version of 2022. So our requests to postpone the testimony of this witness is to be adjourned is based on this provision, section 147. So at this moment, because there is a part of evidence that he hasn't finished to submit as part of his testimony, I would like that we adjourn this case. Therefore, we are requesting that his testimony should be postponed so that we wait first for the forensic expert to come and submit their evidence or testimony. To me, it's a matter of procedure. The speaker is speaking far from the microphone, so we are unable to follow them. We are unable to hear what the defense counsel is saying because he's speaking away from the microphone. But we try to interpret as much as we hear. He is saying there's no legal provision that allows a witness to give partial evidence. We don't think that is legally justified. And also, the magistrate is also speaking a little bit far from the microphone as well. I would like to request my fellow counsel Jeremiah to continue. Honorable Magistrate, I've been permitted by my senior counsel, Counsel Mpoki, deferring a witness is permitted, but if you read this provision, it is not something which is done at will. There must be circumstances to permit that. Now there is a case they used to follow, Desai case and his colleagues and others from the Court of Appeal, which says at one point in time, if someone dealt with an exhibit, he can actually present it. That was the decision of the Court of Appeal. Now this witness has given us a lengthy testimony, and that this exhibit passed into his hands. Now we don't understand why the prosecution side is saying the testimony should be deferred, waiting for another witness to come and give his evidence or testimony, and then thereafter this witness to proceed. We know a witness can be deferred, but in this context, the Court of Appeal case that I would like to give the court full citation, it is a very known case in the admissibility of evidence. The Court of Appeal has ruled already. Therefore, I don't see any reason why this particular witness should be deferred. And Advocate Kibatala can also add to that. Honorable Kibatala, if you read, Honorable Magistrate, if you read the wording, Honorable Magistrate, deferring a witness is not a matter of course. It is a matter of discretion. And this provision was not put into place in order to give one side of the case convenience. It was set into place to give discretion to the court of law to enhance its powers to control proceedings. That's why the operating word in that provision is that who defers. It is the court. The court may. That's the language used. So the court can defer suo motu from the prevailing circumstances, or it can permit presumption upon application. But the two words indicating judicial discretion and their sources of judicial discretion are quite many. Common sense, ordered conduct of proceedings, or orderly conduct of proceedings. But more importantly is legal reasons or cause, a legal cause to defy witness. Our colleagues, if you ask them, are you ready to proceed with the hearing of this case, they said without any qualification that they are ready. There's no place where they said that there is a prior information that we are going with this witness up to this point, and then after that we're going to make an application. They didn't say that. And even now, as we speak, even now, when they were making this application for the court to permit the deference of the testimony, they spoke in very general terms that they're asking for deferring the testimony until the forensic expert comes also to give his testimony. Honorable Magistrate, that's not a legal reason or even a logical reason for that matter. What prevented them to organize themselves so that first they bring the forensic expert to tender into evidence the flash disk in question, and then thereafter this witness comes to give testimony without interruption? Because this is factually cumbersome. and this application to belong in a sea of cumbersomeness. And so we are moving your court to observe or to find that. 1 minute, Honorable Magistrate. There is an authority from the Court of Appeal I was looking for, which defined. Just 1 second, bear patience with me. This is a criminal appeal number 59 of 2015. Mashaka Juma Ntarura versus Republic 159 criminal appeal of 2015. Mashaka Juma Ntarura versus the Republic. And the message, the overall principle in this appeal decision was that to defer the testimony of a witness, it's not a matter of course, but it's a proper exercise of judicial discretion. Therefore, we are resisting the application to adjourn or defer the testimony because they are quite disruptive to the ordering conduct of proceedings. These are prayers whose net effect is to waste time. We won't have achieved anything meaningful today. Therefore, because the provision in question permits because section 147 subsection 4 of the Law of Evidence Act, as revised in 2002, Chapter 6 of the Laws of Tanzania, allows for the witness to be recalled for examination in chief or further cross-examination. We are asking you to order this witness to finish his testimony and then be cross-examined, and that the prosecution side should use section 147 subsection 4 to call him into examination in chief after the expert witness in question they're talking about will be called also to give his evidence. But the bottom line is, we heard him interpreting even the effect of the content of the exhibit in question. So apart from understanding the content, the essence of his testimony, he is aware of it because he's the one that discovered the criminality of the content in question. So if that's where his testimony ended, then they should be ordered that they should close their testimony so that we cross-examine the witness in question on how we discovered the criminal offense in question. Then thereafter, if they're still planning to call him back, of course the law allows him to be called again to deal with the content, because the danger, if you give them carte blanche, we won't know if this testimony will meet the test of objection, and we have no idea what the court is going to decide on objection. The danger is, if you defer this testimony, then this testimony might be deferred sine die, without knowing exactly when he is going to be called again. I think orderly conduct of proceedings and common sense and the law does not allow this speculative approach. I don't think it's the domain of the court to engage itself into speculative undertakings. Therefore, we're asking Honorable Magistrate that you order them to conclude the testimony of this witness, and then they will use Section 147 to call him back again to finish the remaining testimony, should there be any. Because what happens if this witness dies before he is brought here? There are many issues to speculate, and we don't see its end. But also, when you are writing your order that you have deferred, someone who is reading your file should be able to see a plausible justification. So it's not sufficing to say that a request was given and accepted. So we are strenuously objecting to this prayer. Honorable Mpoke, are you done? Katuga Nasol, State Attorney. Honorable Principal State Attorney, Honorable Principal Resident Magistrate, I would like to respond to the objections. And if there is anything that I might forget, then my fellow State Attorneys will also add. Honorable Magistrate, I've heard them on their response on the prayer we had requested before you. I think their objections are misleading, because the leader of the team said there is no law which says you can defer evidence or testimony rather, but we thank that your court directed him to the right provision of the law. Probably, I think the senior counsel had forgotten about this law. But second, they agree that there is a legal provision that allows to defer testimony of a certain witness until one witness or several witnesses bring their testimonies. They agree that Section 147 subsection 5 exists, but they're saying this is a discretion of the court, and they're saying the court should use wisdom. We don't have a problem with that, so we join hands with them. We support them that the court should use its wisdom and discretion to decide this request. And this is supported by the case that Kibatala mentioned, that the court is encouraged to use wisdom and discretion. We agree with it. But Section 147, Advocate Kibatala is asking us to continue with this witness and then recall him in subsection 4. He is agreeing the use of subsection 4, but is rejecting the use of subsection 5. These legal provisions are not enacted to please someone, and they are not there as cosmetics. The provisions are there to help the court reach a fair decision, and justice is not one-sided as they want it to be. They are mentioning these provisions that they don't favor their part, but they can also use the same provision on their favor, because it doesn't stand on one side alone. So it is all about examination of witnesses during examination in chief. Our witness, Honorable Magistrate, has laid the foundation of how he worked on this exhibit and evidence, and how we took it, the exhibit for forensic investigation. But Honorable Magistrate, the witness has indicated that he understands the content of what is inside, and from the way he gave his evidence or testimony, his testimony lies on the video in question, and he is the one who is talking about it. That is his testimony. Honorable Magistrate, your Honorable Court has to give justice to both sides to be listened completely and fairly. When we say that this witness hasn't finished, it means we haven't been listened or heard completely and fairly. And now we are being forced to close this case and this witness to be cross-examined because he can be recalled. Then you will do cross-examination, and then have you brought the video? No, and this ends here. And then you say we're going to recall him to bring a video later on. Honorable Magistrate, this is an afterthought. They've already asked him, have you brought video? No. And then they're going to recall him again to recall him again to bring the video. So these legal provisions are not there to please someone, or just like a lotion to oil one's body. I think the wisdom was for the Parliament to allow the court to control the proceedings. It is true that any witness can tender an exhibit. They're right. Honorable Principal Resident Magistrate, each case is going to be decided based on its merits. In other words, it is going to be conducted according to its circumstances.
No, but it has been ruled, particularly drugs cases, because the law allows that. For the case that has been mentioned about the Mirza is not even the Sharif Mohammed case and his friends against the Republic. It says who is competent to tender the evidence, and of course we are aware of that. But Honorable Magistrate, recent Magistrate, the nature of this case, that we are talking about computer data, we are talking about electronic evidence, Honorable Magistrate. It has got its own regulations. Honorable, my brother Kibatala wants to cover section number 18, but aware of the section 18 of the electronic transaction, which requires that before you tender the evidence, you have to say how you got it, how did you store it, how did you generate it and store it, without clarifying them too much. An expert has to come here without explaining these things. How can you make a decision on whether to receive that evidence or not? When we lay the foundation and then they say we have to complete the procedure. So, Honorable Magistrate, this section is there because for handling such kind of cases, we have laid the foundation. What has been done here is to lay the foundation how we received those evidences and how we transmitted it to the forensic expert. If the forensic expert comes here and those evidences are rejected, even if they are rejected, this person will be recalled later so as to complete his evidence. This test witness has come here to the court on the basis of the Article 147. It is that he will be cross-examined or the friend, for example, so that time will come here. Even if they would like to cross-examine here today, the time will come. We have not said that he has completed his witness. Even if he would have completed, it will be on their benefits, the advantage. Quite unfortunate that these things. We have started, for example, anticipating his death, for example. My brother. This statement has to be omitted. It has been omitted. My brother, if I'm praying to God that the witness does not pass away, because others have condemned that according to their beliefs. I think he was joking. But this witness, even if his witness is adjourned today, he can be recalled at any time. But we can use that article to adjourn, and we would like to request your court, of course, to recall him. But we have already explained to the Honorable Court that this witness did not use this annex, and for these electronic evidence to be provided is to ascertain, of course, of its authenticity. Honorable Magistrate, these are proven by different witnesses, not only one witness. How will the procedure apply here? That is what the Republic is using here. We cannot bring here the witness before other things have been proven, and we cannot close the witness of this person before we verify what he has been saying, whether it meets his qualifications. If it is not, it is rejected, then we're going to close our witness and give the floor, of course, to them to cross-examine him. So, with the wisdom of the Honorable Court, which has the authority, of course, to use its wisdom on the basis of the circumstances that we have already explained here, to see, by, of course, giving us a right to be heard fully. We have the right to be heard, but we should not be heard by being given certain conditions. And we are doing that according to the laws of the country. So for example, mentioned the article number 14, which of course gives conditions. There's 147, and every case will be decided on the basis of these circumstances. Having said that, the Honorable Magistrate would wish that our witness does not pass away, but we submit our request to adjourn this case, to adjourn this witness. So the Honorable Court has to use the wisdom in that regard. Honorable Kibatala, do you support that? Ooh. Honorable, having heard our colleagues, the following issues. The first one, to allow or not allow it is the exclusive domain of the court to adjourn the witness. We are not challenging the fact that the dispensation has to be judicious exercise. For that one, we don't have any challenge. But on these circumstances, for example, is anything that was put forth to allow the court, of course, to exercise its judicial responsibility. Is it because of the convenience on that side? We emphasize the fact that there's no main reason apart from the fewer convenience. If you look in a third eye, you find that this witness has been brought so that people do not complain why they did not bring forth the witness here. And that is something that is obvious. Yes, prosecutorial plan is theirs, but in that big picture, the court is here, and the accused is here. And they have to fit in that picture, not only a picture. They have not responded to argument here. What did make them not to bring here the forensic expert to share the video clip, and so that later this witness can come to identify the content that has been availed before the Honorable Court? and traverse other things. Because at the end of the day, it is the same thing. This witness is not the one who is going to put it forth. So when we talk about Section 18, of course, I did not mention it in the submission in chief, but since he has brought it, we have to rejoin it. It is a paradox in one way to say that the witness who is supposed to show the way, it is a way. If this witness is going to claim the way and is deferred, what compelled them not to bring forth the forensic expert? So the argument is as if it has to be used to adjourn this witness. Therefore, on the side, Honorable Magistrate, we don't see any legal weight on this argument. But now, in his wisdom, the Parliament put 147 for, if you see that there's something that is incomplete or has emerged, you are allowed to recall the witness, because I would also like to reiterate that he does not have any new thing to furnish here before the Honorable Court. The Honorable Magistrate, we reiterate that there should be a decision. They should be ordered to close their witness, because this section says that the court may, which means that the court may see that your witness was supposed to be preceded by the forensic expert, for example, or by the mother of the child in the case of the physical violations cases of rape, for example, and so forth. Or to permit that permission, because that is an exception of the general rule, whereby the witness must provide the witness and go away. Then why should we adjourn? My brother, the friend, he has used the expression "utterford." Indeed, it is the most appropriate nomenclature of the circumstances. The prayer is an afterthought and it must be refused. Honorable Magistrate, our learned brother said if they are not heard to, they will be impacted. Number one, the witness has been given a chance to be heard, and without the reserve, they said that they were ready to be heard by this honorable court. But it is a legal fact that is done by all the people who practice law to be have the right to be heard and to use fully every opportunity to be heard, and prudently. There are two different things. And if you, for example, you have been called into a court of law, would you say that you were denied the right to be heard? If you have the witness there, there is, for example, you don't have any reason to adjourn your witness, so that of course you would be cross-examined. And when you are rejected, then you claim that you were denied the right to be heard. Therefore, the right to be heard should not be abused. It has to be used fully. And lastly, our learned brothers say that there are two things. That it was not, of course, designed to please anybody. It is true. It is, in my opinion, it's just an assumption. they have been put in place to serve the purposes. But there should be sound reasons to do that, to use them. Not led by convenience. Finally, Honorable Magistrate, our colleague said that the evidence of the witnesses is based on the officers of the court. We are officers of the court here. I reiterate once again, the witness who has already identified the defendant who said the words and he translated them, and he said that he discovered some sort of a criminal offense. I don't know, these police officers, he has said it here openly. So what is, for that is only a interpretation of the words that he heard were uttered. And so we cannot work with this police officer with his, on the basis of his interpretation of the criminal offense that he discovered. And of course, I have a lot of questions to ask him because we know him very well. So we request that prayer should be rejected forthwith, because they have to bring the witness to the level that is supposed, so that we can cross-examine the witness here before us. Honorable Kibedala, you want, of course, to cross-examine the witness here. Honorable Mtogesa, Honorable, I've heard submissions of my friend, the state attorney. He said that these types of cases have their ways of submitting the witness. They said they are waiting for a forensic expert to come here and share the evidence. We all know that the law that we use in performing our rights activities is about the written laws and the court decisions. And the case that I mentioned is one part, but the full station, the DPP, DPP versus feedback and the three others, it is a decision. And even the court used it in the rules of receiving exhibits, the exhibit management guidelines. Can you please share with us the guidelines? Please allow me to read it, because read it in this guideline. The Director of Public Prosecutions must exercise vigorous alliance, RD. Please follow him because he's speaking in English. In that case, Honorable Magistrate, I'm trying to follow the advocate, but it is as if he's trying to furnish us with some guidelines, unless he's just referring to the case that he has mentioned, but he is bringing guidelines issues in the proceedings. I was just saying that even the court used them in this documentation, simply like that. But for the case, Honorable Magistrate, he says that any witness at one point in time, the evidence has passed through his hand, can share it. That is the position here. And it has never changed till to date. So the decision still stands still to date. Now, this witness said a lot of things about the flash disk that he labeled as DM, and then he entered the case numbers for his testimony. That is what he said, and we are of course quoting him. Then he said that he's the one who downloaded the video clip that according to his explanation is the center of controversy. And then he downloaded it in his flash disk and he put a password in that particular flash disk. Now, he worked on that exhibit. Why can't he, of course, share that video clip here? I know that, of course, there was some prudence on some proceedings, especially when our colleagues share some evidences whereby yes, may you proceed? What we are talking about here is about the evidence in this particular form. We are not hearing the advocate, so so he can proceed to withdraw his request so that we can proceed with our case here. I submit. Honorable Katuga, please. There is an argument here which I did not hear your reaction. I would like to know why didn't that person start before this one? Why didn't you start with the first witness before this one? I would like to hear your opinion in that regard. We answered that question, and I told this honorable court by referring to the article section 118, and I said that every case should be decided on the basis of the circumstances. I said that it is true that the investigation in other cases can start, and I gave an example of the drug abuse cases, but I said here we are referring to the electronic evidence. Now I get you. Why didn't you start with the first witness? And I said that according to the Article 18, it requires you to lay the foundation. How? According to the words that I use, of course. I mean that electronic evidence has been generated and stored and transmitted. It is true, it has been generated, but the amendment that has been done is to just to distinguish between admissibility and also and its weight. So those are the two distinctions, but other things remain the same. For example, in this honorable court, so as to determine its admissibility, it should take into consideration these two issues. Honorable, how this honorable court is going to receive, for example, I know you gave him the floor, but he gave the answers of the examination before. Now I get your point.
I'm going to render my decision shortly. There is a request from the prosecution's side that they want to defer their witness until when the forensic expert brings his testimony in this court. The request brought under Section 147, subsection 5 of the Law of Evidence Act of Tanzania. And this request has been denied or resisted by the defense side. I'm using the mic. I hope you can hear me. The requests have been resisted by the defense side, even though they agree that the provision in question gives power to the court to defer a witness, but there must be justifiable cause to do so. So first of all, I think there's no any contention that Section 147 allows what the prosecution side has requested. And because for reasons that have been presented and taking into account the contentions presented by both sides, or arguments presented by both sides, in the interest of justice and the conditions of the case that we have, I agree with the prayer by the defense that we should defer the witness until the expert witness comes to present his testimony. Therefore, I've considered all the submissions for the parties, and the interest of justice is now using English language, and therefore we can actually follow directly without the need to interpret. So the case has been adjourned until 1st of July because the court has granted the prayer by the prosecution to defer the testimony, and he says he thinks it's better if the case is done on the same day. So the defense counsel is saying something, but we can't hear them because they're not using the mic. And this is the end for today until the 1st of July 2025.